But moving forward, we have a Big 12 matchup on tap. We have the West Virginia Mountaineers now 3-point favorites on the road at Houston. This game carries an over-under 51.5 points, and it kicks off on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern on FS1. This is the Dana Holgorsen Bowl. He was famously head coach of West Virginia before moving over to Houston. And West Virginia, I got to be upfront about this. They've been outplaying expectations, no doubt. But even at 4-1, I still kind of question the legitimacy of this team. Look, if you look at Bill Connolly's second-order wins, which I love, he takes post-game win expectancy and ties it in there to what he expects a team to average given their stats and all those things. They only have 3 second-order wins, not 4 wins like they actually have, which, look, they're only one of 8 teams to have one fewer win in the post-game win expectancy than what they have on that. I didn't articulate that very well, but if you're looking for it, go to his Twitter, check it out. It's a bit complicated, but he puts it in much better words. They've beaten Pitt, they've beaten Texas Tech, they've beaten TCU. All of those teams are way down from preseason expectations, like way down. These are teams that are falling absolutely flat. But hey, don't apologize for wins. 4-1 is 4-1. If you're a West Virginia fan, listen to this. Yeah, 4-1. Don't apologize. Don't look back. Just take your wins and go. And to be honest, I don't think Houston is the team that's really going to expose this. If West Virginia is even going to be exposed at all, I don't know. Maybe exposed isn't the right word for it, but look, Houston's wide receivers have dropped nearly 10% of Donovan Smith's total attempts. That's near the top of the nation. Matthew Golden, I was expecting him to be this breakout go-to guy, but he has 6 drops on the year, which is tied for the second most nationally. Smith is also, he's at his absolute best when he's extending the play, finding somebody wide open downfield. If you watched the first half of the Texas Tech game, he was gashing them, stepping up in the pocket, moving over, and finding somebody 25 yards wide open downfield. The West Virginia has a pretty good pass rush, even though they really haven't faced a mobile quarterback quite like Donovan Smith yet. They did give up an explosive run to Chandler Morris of TCU before he went down with an injury. So maybe that's a front that Donovan Smith can take advantage of. But the team in general, I think, is a mess. Twice this year, they've been shell-shocked in the first half. They allowed 35 just a couple of weeks ago to Texas Tech and 28 to Rice, including 28 in that first quarter there. Look, 2 Texas Tech scores were on special teams, and they had a missed field goal, so they're not quite indicative of what the final score might have said there. But Houston, missed tackles are a big issue, too, with this team. 64% of West Virginia running back C.J. Donaldson's yards this year have come after contact. So if you're looking for some props to play there, maybe not a bad look on the over for Donaldson. And their quarterback, Garrett Green, is a very good athlete, runs the football pretty well. Maybe you can look at rushing yards for Green as well. But he's about as risk-averse as it gets. No passing touchdowns in 2 full FBS games, 1 turnover-worthy throw that was picked, and about a 50% completion guy in the year.
Yeah, Brett, this one has a watchability score of 6.7, and I'm glad we're talking about it. It's a tale of 2 seasons for these teams. Unranked by the AP poll, I had to go check because I don't look at the AP poll except when I'm writing the article for thelines.com and when I want to make comments like this I'm about to make. Unranked by the AP poll, the Mountaineers, I think, are being criminally disrespected for what they've accomplished. Kind of like what you said there, Brett. I have West Virginia number 14 in my most deserving rankings. Only a 45% chance the average top 25 FBS team would be 4-1 or better against that schedule. 1.9 more wins than projected through week 6. That makes West Virginia number 6 on my overachievers list. So I agree with you. They are overachieving expectations this year. They've achieved a lot against the schedule that they've played. I don't know why they aren't getting respect in the AP poll. I agree with you that, some of the teams that they played are having worse seasons than we expected. Like the wins that they had at the time are not looking as good now as we thought they would. But I'm not in the business of taking away credit from a win. Hey, we thought the win was this at the time. That's the team they play. They're not playing the team today. They played the team in week 2 and week 3. So to me, West Virginia deserved to be ranked. I have number 14. From a power rating standpoint, though, I also agree with you. Their ranking in the resume is better than their rating in the power rating. Even with that, though, I have West Virginia minus 5.5. It's a 66% win expectancy. The Mountaineers' power rating is up nearly 4 points from the preseason, and their regular season win total projection has improved from 4.8 to 7.8.
Wow.
That's the 4th largest net increase of any team in FBS. I mean, 3 more wins when you only projected less than 5 to begin with. That's huge. It's been a great year for West Virginia so far, and the schedule sets up in such a way, Brett, as you're looking forward, that I think they're going to get a few more as we keep going. This should be a strength versus strength game. I've got number 35 West Virginia defense being the best unit in the game. They're going against the number 38 Houston offense. For Houston, the 17-14 win against UTSA was a great way to start the season. it has been all downhill since then, and it's trending towards a disappointing maiden season here in the Big 12 for Houston. At number 97, the defense is the worst in the Big 12, and the number 63 West Virginia offense should be able to take advantage of that in this game. The Cougars' power rating is down nearly 3 points from the preseason. They're nearly a win behind schedule as outlined in my preseason realistic expectations. And to make matters worse for Houston, there isn't a single game remaining on their schedule in which I make Houston a favorite. Conversely, with West Virginia, they're a favorite in every single game except for a trip to Oklahoma. I also have a pick'em in their trip to UCF. So these two teams trending in different directions already. Continuing that trend is what the projection is moving forward. Oklahoma and Texas are the big favorites in the Big 12, Brett. We know this. But with a win in this one, West Virginia would move to 3-0 in conference play, and they would have a 23% chance to make it to Arlington. That's third best in the conference. It's worth noting the Mountaineers do not play Texas this season. So if West Virginia is able to run the table, let's say, against everyone but Oklahoma in conference play, they end the year with only one loss. Texas already has a loss. If Texas stubs their toe, my numbers aren't calling for that, but it is college football after all. If Texas stubs their toe and West Virginia takes care of business against everybody not named Oklahoma, West Virginia's in the driver's seat in that scenario. So we'll see how it all plays out. There's a long way to go. But bottom line, I have West Virginia minus 5.5. It's a 34% chance that Houston earns their first Big 12 conference win.
Oh, my God. That would be something. West Virginia and Arlington by the end.
Can you imagine?
That would be impossible. That'd be so – honestly, be great for the sport. Except that they probably would get throttled. My numbers right now make that game a 22-point spread. Granted, that's at Oklahoma, so you're looking at a 20-ish point spread, maybe just under that at a neutral site. But I mean, Brett, if I go back to the preseason real quick, my numbers gave West Virginia a 1% chance. So this is the best thing about probabilities. Yeah. They can be like, "Oh, you didn't think we'd make it." No, actually, I said there's a 1% chance, and that 1% played out. So a 1% chance, though, 3.3 projected conference wins. You look at it now for West Virginia, and they're up to, like I said, a win here makes it 23%. They currently are projecting it 5.8 conference wins. It's been a great season for West Virginia so far. That's not bad. I think West Virginia with the points is the only way I lean here. It was 2.5 for the early part of the week, and now it's 3. So you're not getting the hook there. You're missing out on a big edge there. So probably 2.5 was the play I would have had. Houston's playmakers are just too inconsistent. And look, I have little to no faith left in Dana Holgorsen. So maybe you can still play the -3. I don't hate that. Both teams are coming off a bye week. And look, Dana Holgorsen is 5-11-1 against spreads, a home dog. I pick and choose my spots for trends. That's a trend I think matters. Holgorsen can't get his teams up when you're a home underdog. So, West Virginia with the points for me on that one.